no matter the location. From OAKLA to LV, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's 53-man roster projection video is presented by Panda Supps. Head on over to pandasupps.com where you guys can use code PLAYOFFS to save 40% off. If you spend over $100 at Panda Supps, you will also get a free Panda Supps snapback. As you can see, these things right here, they're pretty clean. Major shout out to them for helping us keep these lights on here at the Raiders Report. 53-man roster projection at the Las Vegas Raiders Report. Mitchell Renz ready to break it all down for you. What you guys are going to see is the numbers, and it's literally me just showing you, counting out to 53. Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota, Nathan Peterman. Probably no big surprises here. The Raiders are going to keep these three quarterbacks. Let's go to the running back room. This is where it gets a little bit interesting for me. I got them keeping Jacobs, obviously, Kenyan Drake, Alec Ingold. This one pained me a little bit because I like Jalen Richard, but I had to move on from him. I'm going to go with Theo Riddick because the Raiders chose to sign him to a one-year, $900,000 contract in the offseason. And if all you're looking for is a pass-catching running back, Riddick is a much cheaper option than Richard. So in terms of notable cuts, I'm going to move on from Trey Regis, who is this more bruiser running back. I just don't really see him being a good fit in today's NFL. And then Garrett Groshek. I like Groshek a lot, but I just can't convince myself to go ahead and keep two fullbacks. What I want you guys to do is go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Maybe it's been a month. Maybe it's been, I don't know, a week since you've smashed anything. I'm here to help you out. Weekly mailbags, news, and rumors videos, 100% free. Join the #1 most watched Raiders channel on YouTube, The Real Raiders Report, at youtube.com/Raiders Report. Wide receiver time here. I got Henry Ruggs, John Brown, Brian Edwards. No real surprises there. Give me some Hunter Renfrow, Willie Snead, and Zay Jones. I have the Raiders keeping only 6 receivers this year, and really, that's a pretty solid 6 group. They still might be looking for a #1, but this is the way too early addition. In terms of some notable cuts, I got to move on from Keelan Doss, who I like, but again, you would see a guy like Doss, Marcel Aitman, and Dylan Stoner, honestly, probably get asked to come back to the practice squad. I know a lot of people out there also like the name DJ Turner, Trey Quinn as well, but from top to bottom, you're going to see a lot of these dudes come back on the practice squad, but in terms of making that final 53, I had to make some tough cuts. That's the route I went. Let's go to the tight end position here. Darren Waller, breaking news, going to make the team. Foster Moreau, you're going to see a lot more play from him. The biggest reason why he didn't play a lot last year, he was just trying to recover from an injury. Derek Carrier is a dude that they like a lot, especially in terms of red zone and really being able to block. He'll make the team. And then I'm going to go Matt Bushman, UDFA out of BYU. They gave him $125,000 guaranteed. 8th most among UDFAs. To me, that means that guess what? This is a guy that they want to see make the team. Let's go to the offensive line of the football. Wait, offensive line. Yeah, let's go there. We got Colt Miller, Incognito, James Good, and Leatherwood. This is what I anticipate being the starting line for the Raiders. You got left tackle Miller, left guard and Incognito, center for James, Denzel Good at right guard, Alex Leatherwood at right tackle. Some notable cuts, if you will, on the offensive line that you're not going to see. Lester Cotton, he didn't make the cut. Jared Jones-Smith, Kamal Seymour, and then Eric Magnuson. You'll also notice that, wait a minute, we still got to get to some 4 other players as well, which don't worry, we'll get to here in just a sec. I got Brandon Parker. He's going to make it. I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, I don't like Parker. He's been playing a lot better, and he's a reliable backup tackle. He can play left. He can play right. John Simpson, going to have a solid second year. Again, more depth here. Nick Martin could also back up Andre James if he does struggle. And then Jimmy Morrissey. Jimmy Morrissey, the 7th-round pick out of Pitt. So those are my guys that I think are going to make the offensive line, at least for the 53-man roster. So that's the end of the offense. What I want you guys to do now is this, and be honest with me, right? Like, that's what this show's about. The Raiders Report is about giving the nation a voice. So if you're not taking advantage of these opportunities to comment, that's on you. But what I want you to do is this. I spend my time making these videos giving you my opinion. Now it's your turn to give your opinion. So fill in the blank. The Raiders should have kept blank player on offense. The Raiders should have cut blank player on offense. Today's show is presented by Panda Supps. I'm repping them here, and I want you guys to rep them at home as well. Maybe you're not getting a good night's sleep. You wake up in the morning, you can't get out of bed, you're tossing and turning, you're having weird dreams. Telling you right now, you take 1 scoop of this sleepy formula, dude, you're going to sleep like a freaking baby. Go to pandasups.com, use code PLAYOFFS, where you can save 40% off. Usually $44.99. We're going to cut that down for y'all, and you can get it for $26.99. Also, if you spend over $100, you will get a free Panda Sups hat, usually a $25 value, but since the guy that owns Panda Sups is a diehard Raider fan, he's going to hook you up, but you got to use code PLAYOFFS. If maybe you're up late at night and you're trying to stay focused on some homework, maybe you're at work and you hit that midday crash. It happens to me right before I come on the Raider Report. I take a scoop of nootropics. Dude, it is like you just wake up, you get locked in, ready to rock and roll. And again, you can get all these awesome products at pandasups.com. Use code PLAYOFFS for 40%. If you don't like to drink coffee, maybe you don't like the taste, it's a great coffee replacement. Plus, I mean, if I'm being 100% real with y'all, it is a healthier alternative to energy drinks. It's a healthier alternative to a lot of other caffeine products out there. Nootropics, it's nutrients for the brain. Pandasups.com. Use code PLAYOFFS. Defensive side of the football here on the Raiders Report, and we're looking at that 53-man roster projection. I'm going to start here with the defensive ends. I got YANNIK NGAKOUE, Max Crosby, Cleveland Ferrell, Malcolm Kuntz, the rookie out of Buffalo. Really like to see how these guys are really going to be able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. One of the biggest things Gus Bradley wanted to be able to do is upgrade the defensive tackle position, and I think he did so. Solomon Thomas, Quentin Jefferson, Johnathan Hankins, David Irving. It pains me a little bit. I definitely would love to see Mo Hurst here, but it's all good. Obviously, he's not on the team anymore, but keeping 4 DTs and 4 defensive ends means had to make some pretty notable cuts here, and this is a tough thing to do. Carl Nassib, I'll say that they move on from him, save the money. I know it probably makes sense to keep him from a contract standpoint, but the Raiders have been trying to get rid of him basically ever since they got him. Kendall Vickers, this actually might have been the toughest one. This guy is not only putting up videos of him deadlifting 1,000 pounds, but he's just doing incredible things. And I know he's working really hard as well. Niall Scott, Darius Stills, Darius Philon, other players that don't be surprised if they end up making the Raiders practice squad. Let's go to the linebacker position. I really wanted to be able to keep 6 players here, but I was like, okay, how do I anticipate Gus Bradley's system being able to work? I saw only 5 linebackers making the roster. Nicholas Morrow, Nick Kwiatkowski, Corey Littleton. Those are going to be the guys that basically get your 3 most starts, if you will, probably get the most snaps. And then you got Divine Diablo, and then you also have Tanner Muse. This is where it got really tough for me. I see them keeping Divine Diablo. Now, I rip Tanner Muse a lot, but it's because I don't think he's ever going to live up to the number 3, like a 3rd round pick. But another guy that if you watch the show that I just absolutely love, and out of all the cuts that I made, this was the toughest one to do, JAVIN White. So let's just say you're Bradley. Let's say you're John Gruden and you're Mike Mayock. Out of these 2 players here, who would you keep? Would you keep JAVIN White type JW? Would you keep Tanner Muse type TM? As it stands right now, I think they go Tanner Muse, but if throughout camp, if JAVIN outplays Tanner Muse, I hope that they take the guy who's outplaying the other guy, and they don't just go based on draft capital alone. Let's go to the cornerback position now. MULLEN, Arnett, Casey Hayward, and Rasul Douglas. I am excited to see how Hayward ends up fitting with this secondary here, being a good coach on and off the field. And Rasul Douglas, I'm telling y'all right now, what Nelson Aguilar was to this team on the offensive side of the football, do not be surprised if Douglas is that dude on defense. A sneaky player that not a lot of people are talking about, but Mike Mayock liked him a lot, and he's also long and lanky like your typical Gus Bradley secondary players. Let's also look at some other guys here at the cornerback position. AMIK Robertson in the 2nd year, Nate Hobbs, the rookie out of Illinois, and then also Isaiah Johnson. I'm just going to tell y'all right now, if it would have been a 52-man roster, I would have left Isaiah Johnson off the list. He was the dude that I was picking between him, JAVIN White. I mean, I made some really tough decisions, but that was the route that I ended up going. Number 47, again, hopefully you guys are counting with me. We're trying to get to that 53-man roster. Johnathan Abram, he's going to have a big-time year, and if he doesn't, he's going to be on his way out, and I really am a big believer in that. They are going to put him in so many positions to be able to succeed. If he's ready to step up, he's going to have a big year. Merrick also, and then Carl Joseph, and then Tyree Gillespie. Those are the 4 safeties that I see the Raiders keeping, which means had to make some tough cuts. Nevin Lawson, this one was actually pretty easy. He suspended the first 2 games of the season. I don't really like the guy. I'm just going to be real. Keyshawn Nixon, a good cornerback, 6th round pick out of South Carolina. Another player that's a little bit undersized, but unfortunately, I see him, kind of being booted the way out. And then Daniel Levitt, great special teams player, but I had to get rid of a few dudes, and unfortunately he was one of the guys that did not quite make my list. Which means now the final 3 players, you can't forget the special teams players, Daniel Carlson, A.J. Cole, and Trent Seig. Those are your 3 players on the special teams in terms of your kicker, your punter, and your long snapper. So after going through the defense, name one player, just like you did for the offensive side of the football, name one player that you think I should have kept on defense, and one player that you're like, Mitch, you shouldn't have kept that guy. I mean, you're going to go through it, and all I want you guys to do is make your own 53-man roster videos, because this was tough, man. I mean, there was a lot of dudes that I like, and there was a lot of players I see some high upside, but it's a good thing that you're moving on from tough players. That means your roster's getting better, which is the most important thing.